Good afternoon, everybody. How is all my wonderful subscribers and viewers out there doing today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It's Nikki D, and welcome back to the Nikki D channel. Today, we're going to be doing the 2024 NFL recap, week 3, where I go over all 16 games we had in week 3, and I let you know who won, I let you know who lost, and man, we did not have a good week this week, only 5 right, 11 wrong, but we'll get to all that and more. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. Without further ado, let's get to our first game of the week was Thursday Night Football as the New England Patriots went on the road into East Rutherford to take on Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. And it was all New York in this matchup. New England's offense didn't even exist. Only 3 points put up on the board. Aaron Rodgers, 281 yards passing, a pair of passing touchdowns as the New York Jets beat the New England Patriots 24-3 at home. And now to the Sunday games, as we had the New York Giants going on the road into the dog pound to take on the Cleveland Browns. And New York showed up this week, finally getting their first win of the season as Cleveland's offense really struggled in this game. Maybe New York can actually start to turn their season around. Time will tell. But for this week, the New York Giants go into the dog pound and beat the Cleveland Browns 21-15. In our next matchup, we had the Green Bay Packers going on the road into Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. And this is where I finally pick up my first win of the week. And Tennessee just continues to struggle without Derrick Henry as he went to Baltimore. And Green Bay just showed up and ended up really putting it on Tennessee as the Packers beat the Titans 30-14. And in our next game, we had a rematch of Super Bowl 41 as the Chicago Bears went on the road to take on Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. And Chicago struggled here. Indianapolis finally stepping it up, getting their first win of the 2024 season as the Indianapolis Colts beat the Chicago Bears 21-16. Up next on the Week 3 NFL recap, we had a battle of undefeateds as the 2-0 Houston Texans went on the road into Minnesota to take on the 2-0 Minnesota Vikings. And Minnesota has really showed up this season. There's no question about it, especially after Week 3. Dominating performance by the Vikings as the Minnesota Vikings defeat the Houston Texans 34-7 to get to 3-0. In our next matchup, we had the Philadelphia Eagles going on the road down to the Bayou to take on the 2-0 New Orleans Saints. And New Orleans was doing so great offensively, 47 points in the opener, 44 against the Cowboys, but they really struggled this week. Philadelphia's defense put New Orleans in check. Slow scoring game as the Eagles survive the Saints 15-12 as both teams get to 2-1. In our next matchup, we had another battle of undefeateds as the 2-0 Los Angeles Chargers went on the road into Heinz Field to take on the 2-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. And Pittsburgh showed up and showed out in this game. And maybe I need to actually start picking them because the Steelers are starting the season off winning games. 20-10, Pittsburgh beats the Chargers to get to 3-0. In our next matchup, we had the Denver Broncos, who are 0-2, going on the road to take on the 2-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And what a shocker here. Baker Mayfield was not existent in this game, and it really showed in the score as Denver getting their first win of the season and Tampa Bay getting their first loss of the season as Denver defeats Tampa Bay 26-7. Up next, as we continue along on the Week 3 NFL recaps, more upsets. The Carolina Panthers went on the road this week to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. And in a high scoring game, the 0-2 Panthers showing us that they can actually win a game after a horrible start, a 37-point loss to the Saints, and a 23-point loss in week 2 as well. They come out and beat the Raiders by 14, 36-27. Carolina rolls. In our next matchup, we had the Miami Dolphins going on the road, heading to Quest Stadium to take on the Seattle Seahawks. And I finally get my second one right of the week as Seattle showed out, especially defensively. Miami was only able to muster 3 points in this game, as Seattle proving why they belong to be at the top of the NFC currently. 24-3, Seattle gets to 3-0. In our next matchup, we had the Baltimore Ravens going on the road into Arlington to take on the Dallas Cowboys. And another upset, in my opinion. Baltimore 0-2 going into this game. Dallas 1-1 coming off of their loss to New Orleans at home. And this was honestly a very close game for most of it. And the Baltimore Ravens get their first win of the season, 28-25. They beat the Dallas Cowboys. In our next matchup, we had the 1-1 San Francisco 49ers going on the road into SoFi Stadium to take on the 0-2 LA Rams. And yet another upset, in my opinion. The stacked offense that San Francisco has, whether it's Brock Purdy, Juwan Jenkins, anybody in San Francisco, Brian Ayuk, they've got a George Kittle at tight end. They've got a stacked offense. And for them to not be able to get the job done against the Rams really hurts the Niners here. Rams beat the Niners 27-24 as the Rams get to 2-1. 1-2. Up next on the NFL Recap Week 3, we had the Detroit Lions going on the road into Glendale to take on Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. And now we can start get back to the winning ways. Detroit, Jared Goff shows up and gets the dub this week. Detroit really needing that after their loss last week, and I believe it was to Tampa Bay. And Detroit really has to start putting their foot on the gas pedal. They did a good job at starting that this week. The Lions beat the Cardinals 20-13. And now we get to Sunday Night Football, as Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs go on the road to take on the Atlanta Falcons in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And this was a close game. I was a little surprised. The powerhouse that is the Kansas City Chiefs offense was not really on full display here. And Atlanta, like last week, proving that they can stay in games. And that's going to help them down the stretch in 2024, and it might get them a lot more wins than they would otherwise, but not this week. The Chiefs beat the Falcons 22-17 as Kansas City gets to 3-0. And now to Monday Night Football, as we had the 0-2 Jacksonville Jaguars going on the road into Orchard Park to take on Buffalo, who was 2-0, and this was a shellacking. Buffalo came in early, put the hammer down, frying pan to face knockout. Buffalo, big time point production, great defense on the backhand as the Bills beat the Jaguars 47-10. In our other Monday night football game, Jalen Daniels and the Washington Commanders went on the road to face Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, and Cincinnati just seems to have been off so far this season, and they've really got themselves in trouble here out of the gate. Jalen Daniel, near perfect game passing the ball. I believe he had 4 touchdown passes in this game as the Washington Commanders beat Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals 38-33 in Paul Brown Stadium. And that was the 2024 NFL Recap Week 3. What was your favorite game of Week 3? Let me know down in the comments section below, because that's what it's there for. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and you made it all the way to the end of this video, go smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. And if you want to hear some more of me, Nicky D, then go check out my channel, where I've got tons of videos that'll keep you entertained well into the night. Other than that, I hope everybody continues to have an amazing day. I'm Nicky D. This is the Nicky D channel, and I will see all y'all beautiful people next time. Bye, y'all.